time as well.
Okay, so he's also friends with them too.
Yeah, he's close. Also in this article, they pointed out this very unusual thing where Milwaukee County Judge Harvey Nealon had a Dominick Frinzi for governor bumper sticker on his car. And when they asked him, he said, well, I think he's a capable and honest person, and he should run for governor. Well, the judge got blasted pretty hard for that. Not for saying he's capable and honest, but for having the bumper sticker, because they're like, whether this is legal or not, there's some major ethical issues here. One, because the judge now has like a political sticker on his car, and judges have political opinions, but they're not really supposed to like tell you that. Mm-hmm. And second, Frinzi is an attorney who often appears in court. And
oh yeah.
so like if you're like, yeah, this is the guy I like, anytime that Frinzi would now be in Judge Nealon's court, people would look at it different.
Yeah, that is a very valid point.
Because they'd be like, did he win that case because he did a good job, or did he win that case because they're friends? Mm-hmm. You know, so probably not illegal, but definitely was not a great choice by the judge. But end of May, Frinzi spoke at the Parent-Teacher Association in Forest Junction, Wisconsin.
Nice. So there was like 5 people there.
5 people there. But this is when he announced one of his big plans. He wanted to start an entire state department to prevent juvenile delinquency. And he wanted to model it after the Peace Corps. He said, what we need to do is we need to give the youth of our state some responsibility, and we fail to give it to them. If we did this, we'd have fewer problem youth, fewer youth crimes, because they'd be busy doing constructive things. And we should let them know that, you know, their energy would be valued and appreciated. And so this is when he really kicks off that idea. And I like this idea.
Well, this is okay. So I want to talk about this idea because on one angle, I can see the appeal of this idea. Mm-hmm. On the other angle, depending on how it's put together, I could just see this like troubled youth child indentured servitude. You know, like,
yeah,
like it could also be turned really badly too.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. So I don't know how this would work. Like, I don't know the details of it. But I've always liked the idea. This is me giving a political opinion, and I apologize. I don't think this is really a political opinion, but you know, like how when you join the military, you can get like the GI Bill and things like that. Mm-hmm. I've always liked the idea of having other options, being like, hey, you want to be put on a crew for 2 years where like you go around and you clean up state parks and things like that.
Actually, that to me is a brilliant idea. And then you're saying like, would you pay the people to do it, or would this just be like a thing you could do after college or after high school to get money to go to college?
Could be either way. But the point being is just, you know, and there probably are other options. I'm probably talking out of my butt here, but I'm just saying like some other programs where you can do service for your state or your country that doesn't involve military service. So like, you know, it could be being put on a road crew or something, you know, like you could cut infrastructure costs down by hiring students to do it and then paying them on the back end through college grants.
And I can also tell you, and I don't know if I've ever told you this before, Gavin, but when I was in the military, it was explained to me by numerous people. So, and whether any of them were qualified enough to truly know this, but take it what I'm saying for what it's worth. But the GI Bill is actually profitable for the VA.
Really?
Because 80% of people, when you take the GI Bill, you have to pay in to get it. Okay. So they subtract something off of your paycheck for X amount to be a part of the GI Bill. And 80% of the people never use it.
Really?
So it's actually a net positive to the VA to have the GI Bill because of all that money coming in. Yeah.
I did not know that. That's
so. Wow. I mean, to think about it.
Well, so the people who want to use it, it's helpful, and the people who don't, they're benefiting the VA.
Yeah.
So that's
well,
cool.
I guess the people that don't want to use it are benefiting the people that do use it, you know?
Oh, yeah, that too, yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, so like the idea of like giving the youth options of doing things and keeping them busy, like I generally like the idea. In June, Frinzi formally filed for governor. Apparently up to now he's kind of campaigning, but he didn't have to actually file his paperwork. He files it in June. He was required to file 5,000 signatures, which he did. But he told the press that he had actually gathered 120,000 signatures.
Wow.
So he apparently was popular. I don't know. Then he gives one of his great political lines. He says, "It is my belief that our state government can and should run on fewer dollars and more sense." I think that's a great political line.
I like that line too, yeah.
Fewer dollars and more sense. Like, well done, whoever wrote that line. So good on him. All right. He had a political rally at the Eagles Club, which, you know, is now the Eagles Ballroom.
Nice.
Brought in 600 people. He came out on stage to a band and a donkey wearing a sign around its neck that said, "I want a leader." He spoke about his opposition to the selective sales tax. Apparently, the governor had pledged to get rid of the sales tax, but it ended up keeping it. I'm not exactly sure what the sales tax was at this time compared to what it is now. So there might be some specific issues that they had with it, but that was something that came up.
Let me break in 1 second quick here. This is kind of off the topic, but I'm thinking you might know the answer to this because I'm just curious. So you said the Eagles Club, which is now the Eagles Ballroom.
Yes.
I think of the Eagles Ballroom today as not a place you would have a political rally.
Right.
So back in the day, was the Eagles Ballroom like some sort of elegant thing? Or
no.
was it? No, it was always just kind of a... I mean,
well,
it's not that it's a shit, crappy place or anything, but it's just, you know, it's just a rock concert venue.
Well, it was reported at that this campaign event, the room was hot. The 600 people there had their tables overflowing with pitchers of beer, popcorn, potato chips, and pretzels.
Okay.
So this is not necessarily a classy place.
Okay.
But so okay, yeah, this is off the mark. But because you asked, so the Eagles Ballroom, like originally, was like a concert place for like big bands, and it had, I don't even remember what the name was called. I think it was called like the $1 Million Ballroom or something, and that's what they had there. Then it got sold to the Eagles, and the Eagles is like the old guy group. They probably weren't old guys then, but now it's mostly old guys. The old guy group who, like, you know, they do community service and stuff like that. This was their clubhouse.
Okay.
And then eventually they sold it and it became a music venue again, but they kept the Eagles name on it.
Okay. Okay.
So the reason it's called the Eagles Ballroom is it used to be run and owned by the Fraternal Order of Eagles.
Okay.
So.
Wow, that must have been a nice clubhouse when they had it as a clubhouse, because that place is huge.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it would have been pretty sweet. So he's doing this thing. He says he's going to bring heavy industry to Wisconsin, which is something that every governor would say. He would create legislation that would allow savings and loan institutions to invest their capital in state industries. I don't necessarily understand that, but could be a good idea.
Well played. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it probably could have been a good idea.
Could have been. I don't know. I need to know the details on that. Like, what does that mean? He probably explained it, but the way the paper reported it was like, okay. So I don't know like how that benefits the savings and loan, but if they have stuff that they can invest in state industries, that sounds good, I guess. I don't know. So he spoke to these people. Pretty good turnout from local people. Among those 600 people present, there were some assemblymen, district attorneys, judges. So some notable people were there. In August, he spoke to 500 people at a $25 per plate dinner at the Crystal Ballroom in Milwaukee, where he was introduced to the audience by his priest. Kind of an odd thing, but did that.
I bet you that back in that day, that wasn't that